We pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we have to start, or we can also say continuations of previous one about the consciousness aggregates. So today we have to start with beautiful consciousnesses. So last week we have already explained unwholesome consciousnesses and unrooted consciousnesses. So whenever we are going to explain beautiful consciousnesses, we also have to remember 2 different types of feeling. The first one is somanasa, pleasant feeling. So sometimes when we are doing something good, we feel happy. We may feel pleasant. At that time, we can say somanasa. Then another one is 𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐼, equanimity. Sometimes our mind is free from happy or unhappy. We can say neutral feeling. At the time, we may have 𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐼. Actually, we have already learned these 2 types of feeling in greed-rooted consciousnesses. Then here we have 2 more analysis. The first one is jnana samyutta, associated with knowledge. The second one is jnana vipayutta, associated with knowledge or wisdom. So here we have many different types of knowledge. That means sometimes we know the benefits of doing. Sometimes we don't know the benefit of doing. If we know the benefit of doing something, if we know how effective what we are doing, then this is called jnana samyutta. It can be beneficial for ourselves or beneficial for other living beings. So it depends on the way we understand, the way we are doing. So if we know, understanding the benefits or knowing the benefits at the time, jnana samyutta. Sometimes we don't know the benefits, just do as a natural way. That means without understanding the benefits, without knowing the benefits, we just do as a habit, for example. Then this is called jnana vipayutta. In the somanasa also, we have 2 different types of associates and dissociates. In 𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐼 also, associate and dissociate with knowledge. Then also we have a prunted and unprunted. Sometimes we will do good things willingly, although nobody encouraged us. At the time, we can say asankarika, unprunted. Sometimes encouraged by our friends or family member or somebody, we do wholesome deeds. At the time, sasankarika. Maybe sometimes by reading the books, or maybe by seeing something, it encourages us to do something good. At the time, we can say sasankarika. So if we say 8 different types of wholesome actions, something we do happily, we also understand the good and bad, we also understand the benefits, then something prunted or unprunted, 2 different types of consciousness. Also, we have happy feeling, pleasant feeling, but we don't understand the benefits. Then we don't know good and bad. We just do it without any encouragement by anybody. We ourselves willingly do. Asankarika, unprompted. Encouraged by somebody, we will do sasankarika, prompted. So sometimes we will do wholesome deeds with normal feeling, not that much happy. Also, we also understand the goods and bads, beneficial or unbeneficial. Then similarly, printed by our friends or family, or without any encouragement, we do it. Asankarika and sasankarika. Sometimes without understanding good and bad, without understanding benefits, we just do willingly, asankarika, unprinted. Encouraged by somebody or something, we do it. At the time, sasankarika, printed. So these are 8 wholesome consciousnesses. When these 8 wholesome consciousnesses give its results, there can be 8 resulting consciousness. So we also have 8 functional consciousnesses for our hearts. For example, we may do dana. We ordinary people do dana at the time wholesome. But when our hearts do dana, it's only functional. That is why we have 24 types of consciousnesses, right? 8 wholesome consciousnesses, 8 resulting consciousnesses, 8 functional consciousnesses, altogether 24 beautiful consciousnesses. This for sensual sphere, for sensual being. Then we also have to know different types of wholesome deeds according to the conditions. We have 10 different types of meritorious work base. So the first one is dana, generosity. As we all have known what's called dana, I think everybody knows dana, right? You also have dana. For Buddhist people, dana is very normal. Another one is, we also have to know different classifications of dana. For example, we can say superior dana, median dana. We also like a inferior dana. What make our dana inferior? Sometimes we look down on other people, blaming people. We do dana. To defeat somebody, we do dana. Sometimes we just extol ourselves too much. To upgrade our level, right? To be praised by people, then we do dana. So that one is just inferior dana. Sometimes we may expect sensual enjoyment, right? For example, like if we do dana, we can be reborn on the Devarams, we can enjoy divine sensual pleasure. That is why we do dana. We offer many different things to many different receivers. It's just median dana. We just offer without expecting any gain or fate or anything. Just offer freely. Maybe we may expect to attain nibbana. Okay, this is called superior dana. So sometimes we wisely do dana just for the benefit of receiver. Sometimes we just do dana without any benefits for the receivers. Because we say jnana samyutta, jnana vibhuta. Similarly, printed or unprinted, you can also understand, as I have explained before. Then about sila. We have already talked about sila, many different topics in the chapter of morality in Visuddhimagga, in the very beginning of the class. That's why here I will not explain very much in detail, okay? Well, it depends on our mind power. There will be different classifications of sila, right? For example, inferior sila, median sila, superior sila, it will be similar to dana. To defeat somebody, if we observe precepts, is inferior. To be praised by people, we just observe results, inferior. Then we just expect gain or fame, or we may expect sensual pleasure, better enjoyment. This is medium sila. If we do sila without any expectation, or maybe we may expect to attain nibbana, it will be superior sila, superior morality. Then bhavana, meditation. We have already talked about many different types of meditations. This is called, right? Samatha meditation, vipassana meditation. Now we are starting with aggregate, very beginning of vipassana. So this is called, right, bhavana, to develop our spiritual quality. Then again, apajayana, reverence or respect. Sometimes when we see somebody smarter, we can say especially good morality, good conduct, or senior, maybe older people. If we show respect, this is called apajayana. Especially for virtuous people, if we respect. In Bali, we call guna or buddhi. Guna means the quality. Buddhi means increase or develop. Those who has very high quality, high virtues should be respected. Then again, there are some elderly people, right? They're like our parents, grandparents, like an aunt, uncle, elder sister, elder brother. We should respect. We should show respect. This is called apajayana. Now we are vacha, service. Now we can say like a volunteer, right? Volunteer works. So in this case also we have to understand, as we have explained before in the dana, without any expectations, without expecting any gain or fame or any reputations. If we do service, volunteer works, this is called vacha. We must have pure minds, freedom of mind. We just wish to work for them, just work for it. This is called vacha. Then 6 is the pati dana, sharing of merits. This is also very common in Buddha's community. Even at the end of the Dhamma talks, we share the merits to all the living beings. So why do we have to share the merits? Of course, if they can rejoice, they can also get the merits. That's why we have to share. So when they share also without expecting anything, just let them rejoice what we have done good for the community. Something good for a Buddha, Dhamma, or Sangha. This is called sharing of merit. So the 7 will be patanumodana, rejoicing in others' merits. So when somebody shares the merits, we must rejoice. Okay, although they don't share the merits, when seeing somebody doing well, okay, for example, when seeing somebody meditating well, we can rejoice. When seeing somebody, right, doing dana well, we can rejoice. When seeing somebody working for people, volunteer service, we can rejoice. So whenever people do something good, if we can rejoice, whether they share or not, this is called patanumodana. Mostly people misunderstand that when somebody can share, when somebody share their merits with us, we can rejoice. If they don't share, we cannot rejoice. Not like that. Whether they share or not, we can rejoice. Whatever they have done good for, done some of community. This is called patanumodana. Then 8, Dhamma savana, listening to the Dhamma. There will be many different purposes of listening to the Dhamma. Right? Somebody, when they listen to Dhamma, people may think, oh, he's very good. He's always listening to the Dhamma. People may think, oh, he's very high, very good, very smart. To show, okay, we can say another way, expecting gain of faith. If we listen to the Dhamma, this is not meaningful. If we listen to the Dhamma to understand the Dhamma, or to distribute or to share our Dhamma knowledge with others after listening, with this kind of intention, this kind of purpose, this is really called Dhamma Savana. Sometimes, okay, after listening to Dhamma, I will complain something, I will defeat something. This is not really good intention. Okay? If somebody has maybe something wrong, we can correct. We can make some corrections, right? This is a good purpose, good intention. Okay, another one is a Dhamma Desana, teaching the Dhamma. So now people may teach many different things. Also here we have to understand the same, without expecting any gain of faith. Just to share our knowledge. If we teach the Dhamma, this is called Dhamma Desana. Maybe to correct the way they understand. That's why we teach or we give lecture. Okay, another one is about Dhamma Desana, right? As long as it's a blameless lecture, as long as you are teaching, or our teaching does not mislead people, it's okay. Maybe it can be other traditional instructions or traditional teaching, although it's not Buddha teaching, right? Some of the teaching are really very good for the community. Some of the lecture are useful for the community, for good conduct, or for better lifestyles. Then if we just share that kind of knowledge, this is also called Dhamma Desana, although it's not Buddha teaching. Actually, many of good things come from Buddha teaching, right? Whatever we say good, we cannot be free from Buddha's teaching. Okay, now the last one is a Ditthiju Karma, straightening out one's view. So we have to make our view right. When we have right view, we may do good things. So we may have many different types of wrong view. Then we have very sensitive or very risky wrong view, such as causeless or rootless view. All of them happen naturally without cause, without any condition. We have this kind of view, this is called wrong view. So we have to understand there's the causes that make something happen. So we can make our view right or correct. Then we also have another type of wrong view, akiriya. Right? Akiriya means doing nothing. For example, although you are doing good things, it doesn't mean it's good. Good and bad just come from the people. It's judged by the people. Although you are, for example, like in modern society, like drinking wine, taking intoxicants, this is very common. That's normal. Nobody thinks it's a wrong thing. So good and bad is judged by people in the community where they take wine or any other liquor or beer or anything. Sure, they may say it's no mistakes. It comes from the community. If you live in a community, they take wine. Okay, this is a good thing. If you live in a community where they don't take wine or beer or any liquor, then it's bad. Right? It's community-based judgment. It's not really good and bad. We have this kind of wrong view. Sure, we may do we may make many mistakes. So that means when we say akiriya view, let me akiriya mean like doing is not doing good and bad, right? Actually, I mean doing good and bad is not truth. It depends on the community. So if we have this kind of wrong view, sure, we will do good and bad, both. We will not believe in karma. This is normal, this is natural. We wish to have only easy lifestyle. But actually, there are many problems. For example, okay, I just give example of taking intoxicants, taking wine or beer, right? It will make the mind change. It will make, right? Then because of intoxicants, it will change our minds, our way of thinking. If we drink too much intoxicants, it will affect our actions. It will affect our actions, right? For example, naturally, we will keep quiet after drinking alcohol or any other intoxicants. We will speak a lot. There will be many mistakes. So that is why good and bad is really truth. Another one is like a natika. Natika means, for example, like doing dana is not really called dana. Actually, even non-Buddhist tradition, there's one statement. So that means clever one accept the donation. Stupid one offer. They have that kind of statement. That means when we do charity, when we share our property with our Dharma friends or anybody, right, that means we are stupid, right? The receiver are smart. So that's why there is dana. When we give something, it's really useful, it's meaningful. We just share our properties. So when we have this kind of wrong view, like a no cause, no conditions, this is also called wrong view. That means you are not doing good and bad, this is also wrong view. There's no benefit of dana, this is also wrong view. So we have to correct our view. There's a cause and effect relationship. There's a good and bad. Good action and bad actions. That's the benefit of dana, the benefit of good and bad actions. So when we have this kind of belief, this is called we have ditthi to karma, straightening out our view. So these are called 10 meritorious work bases. So when we are doing all these 10, sometimes we may have knowledge, sometimes without knowledge, sometimes we may feel happy, sometimes we may not feel happy. That's a natural feeling. Sometimes blunted, sometimes unblunted. Then there will be many different, 8 different types of consciousness. So for arhats, when they do dana or all these 10s, it's just functional. That is why they don't have any result. Although they do dana, their dana cannot produce new life. They don't have defilements. They don't have any of karma anymore. So these are called 10 meritorious work basics, as we have learned before. So we can divide into 3 groups of these 10. So we have 3 leaders among these 10 in the table. The first is dana group, sila group, and bhavana group. In the dana group, patidana, sharing of merit, patanumodana, rejoicing the merits done by other people. These 3 are called dana, including in dana, right? Sila called morality. Apajayana, reverence or respect. Vyavaja, service. Okay, one more thing about sila. Actually, we have already learned about sila, right? Sila means habit. When we have good habits, then we have good sila. When we have bad habits, we have bad sila. Respect, this comes from our habits. Reverence comes from our habits. Similarly, vyavaja, service. We have another one. Charita Sila, Varita Sila. Charita Sila means to do. Varita Sila means not to do. That means we have our responsibilities, our duties, this to do. That's why we have a as a Sila. There is something prohibited by the Buddha. Don't do, for example, like temporary steps. Buddha say, don't do it. This is called Varita Sila. So that's why here with Sila, morality, Apacharana, respect or reverence, Vyavacha, suffix or volunteer works. These are under the name of Sila. Bhavana. So Dhammasavana, listening. This is also called Bhavana. You have to follow the teaching. That means you have to listen to the teaching attentively. You have to absorb. You must absorb minds to understand the meaning. Dhammasavana. Dhammadesana, teaching. Also, we have to absorb from the teaching. We have to absorb the ingredients of the teaching. This is also called bhavana. Tititu Kama, straightening out our view. Of course, without meditation, we cannot straighten our view, right? So then we must have rationality, we must have reasoning, and we can do it. This is called bhavana. So it's just for knowledge. Actually, if we understand all these 10 are good things to do in the community, is good enough. We call these are wholesome, good things. Although we have different purpose, for example, although we will do it for gain or fame, right? Anyway, it's a good, but not that much effective, because our intention, the purpose of doing is not really very clear, not very pure. Okay, now we have to proceed kusala karma. The 4 conditions of kusala karma, right? So then we, the 4 conditions that give rise to wholesome consciousnesses. The first one is abiding in the suitable locality. Actually, in our community, because we have to follow many different rules and regulations, very few people will make mistakes. If somebody made mistake very seriously, they cannot live in the community because the community didn't accept that one. Okay, so here, abiding in suitable locality. What does it mean that? So here, sometimes our environment also can affect our lifestyles. If we are living in a good community, although our behavior is not really very good, we have to train ourselves to be good, because community didn't accept that behavior. If we live in a bad community, although we behave very good, they will not accept. So anyway, environment also can affect our practice, our lifestyle. That's why we need good environment. That's why here the Buddha says, abiding in suitable locality. Even our meditation, we need a good place, good environment. Then 2, associating with a wise or a noble person. Here, when we say association, it doesn't mean only associating or living, maybe working together or discussing together, right? We must try to emulate or imitate the behavior of a noble persons, wise person, or good persons. Sometimes we will associate bodily, but not mentally. It's not really called associating. So as we associate bodily or bodily, we also have to associate mentally. So when we see some good behavior, we must train ourselves to emulate, to imitate. That's called associating with mind, mental association. So sometimes we speak a lot, we discuss a lot with wise people, but if we don't follow the way they practice, it's meaningless. Then the 3, having such restraints. So you may have known Attasamapanniti in Bali. You can also say self-discipline. Actually, in the chapter of Sila also, we have already talked about self-discipline. It can be many different ways. Right? Yeah. Okay, for example, when we are going to do something, we have to set the goal. I will do this, I will not do that. We have to make our own discipline. When we are meditating also, we have to set the goal. And within this period, I will do this, I will not do that. We have to set goal and we have to set discipline for ourselves, for our own improvement. If we don't train ourselves, we cannot improve anymore. So these 3, abiding in the suitable locality, associating with wise or noble person, having such restraints, are in the present. We have to do by ourselves in these conditions, in our present life. The 4 is having done meritorious deeds in the past. Of course, we cannot see our past. Not all people can see the past, right? There are some people, they can see their past. So, past is unknown for many people. Most of the people. How can we know that we have done good things in the past? We were born as a human being. That means we have already accumulated many good things in the past. That's why we were born as a human being. Of course, we don't know what kind of wholesome deed we have done, right? If we have inside knowledges or maybe divine power, we can know the past clearly. Anyway, the main thing is, this past is only supporting causes of present life. Some of the past are producing cause of present life. Anyway, when we have these 4 conditions, we can accumulate more wholesome deeds. Because our past habit also influence present. When we are good in the past, we can be good in the present. If we are good in the present, we can be good in the future. We can be better in the future. So anyway, if we summarize, we also should have present actions. We also need past actions to accumulate better wholesome deeds. These are the cause or the conditions of wholesome deeds. Now we also have to explain the characteristics, the function, the manifestation of the cosmic cause of wholesome deeds. Okay, now the characteristics. So the characteristic is faultless and happy results, or blameless, resulting in happiness. We call anavaja sukha vibhava. Okay, so let me, sometimes our minds are healthy. It will be faultless or blameless. It will produce happy results or resulting in happiness. Somehow we are skillful in doing good things. It will be blameless, faultless. It will produce happiness also. Sometimes our mind is pure, great. Then it can be blameless. It will produce happiness. So that we may have long-time happiness. We also have short-time happiness. Anyway, it will produce happiness when we do good things. But sometimes we may have happiness very short time, right? A long time suffering. Anyway, we have to check long time happiness. We have to think about long time happiness. The function is the destructions of immoralities as is essential properties. Okay, we already said destructions of immoralities. When we are going to do good things, it will destruct all the immorality. It will destroy all the impurity. We may have different degree of wholesome deeds, right? That's why different level of wholesome deed will destroy different level of immorality. Then again, the manifestation is the purity as purity. It will appear in our mind as purity. The approximate cause is the wise or rational attention. This is really formal or common approximate cause for all the wholesome deeds. Now we also have another explanations of characteristics, function, and manifestation. That's me being opposite or the false. Navaja, avaja, pripaka. The characteristics of faultless, navaja. The function is property of purity. The manifestation is a desirable results and the mode of effect. The approximate cause is the wise original intention, attention. So these are the characteristics, function, manifestation, approximate cause of wholesome. Then for about resulting consciousness, we already say, right? 8 resulting consciousness, 8 functional consciousness, right? So but this time the rebellion consciousness. The characteristics is recognizing, knowing its objects, whichever among the karma sign or sign of destiny. Actually, we have to explain karma or karma sign or the destiny of the sign of destiny, right? Karma means we have done many things in the past. It will appear as real at the moment of death. It's called karma. Karma sign means at the time we will do, there are many assistants when we are accumulating or performing, accumulate the karma. For example, when we are going to kill, they give me 11 beings, or swords, or knife, or stones, or any weapons. Karma sign. Sign of destiny means in the near death moment we will see like divine beings, divine mentions for good destination, like a flame of fire, or hair beings for bad destination. So all these are the object of rebellion in consciousness. So it will know all these objects. The function is the link to two lives or existences. So that means the process of existences and the process of next existences. This existence and process of next existences. So rebellion is will link to life. Out of person way, there will be rebellion consciousness. It will link this life. The manifestation is as continuity of two existences. The process of the existences, the process of the existences, we call Sandahana. We call continuity, right? The approximate cause associated with mental fetters or materialities, which are base. So materialities, right? So anyway, these are reviving consciousness. That means all the residing consciousness, for example, when we do good things in the past, it will produce this life. When we do good things in this life, it will produce future life. In the very beginning of the life is a reviving consciousness. So now we are born as a human being. So we may have this wholesome, that means produced by wholesome consciousness. This is the reviving consciousness here. Okay, now we have to proceed the next one. Bhavanga, life continuum. So life continuum is also very similar. The characteristics is cognizing or knowing it is objects whichever among the karma sign or sign of destiny. Same as before, right? The function is the non-interruptions or flow of consciousness. In our daily life, if we don't have any particular objects at the time, life continuum arises. For example, when we are sleeping, at the time, life continuance, all these consciousness arises. That's what you call continuity of flow of consciousness. But in the dream, that means at the time have conscious, have unconscious. We can know objects. At the time, we cannot say life continuum. So the manifestation is also as a continuity of flow of consciousness. Then again, the proximate cause is associated mental factors and materialities which are base. So this Bhavanga life continuum also actually the functions of residing consciousness in our life. So when we pass away in the life, for example, in this very life, we are born with the residing consciousness. Whole life, when we are sleeping, for example, life continuum will arise. When we pass away, the same consciousness, or we can say similar consciousness, will arise. We call Chuti, death consciousness. In the death consciousness also there's a characteristics, function, manifestation, proximate cause. I also mentioned in the list. Death consciousness in the slide. The next one. So also, as you see now, the same characteristics, right? Is it cognizance or knowing is objects, whichever among the karma sign, sign of destiny. The function is shifting. It will shift one place to one life to another life. This is called duty. The manifestation is a state of corresponding to last, as mentioned function. This is called manifestation. The proximate cause will be very long explanation because we may have many different types of mental process in near-death moments. That's why it will be very messy for you. For those who have never learned, Abhidhamma will not understand all these things. The proximate cause is the disappearance of embodiment consciousness if it is immediately next to embodiment consciousness. That means sometimes our death moment will take place after embodiment consciousness. Or the disappearance of registration consciousness if it is immediately next to registration consciousness. That means our death moment also can take place after registration consciousness. Or disappearance of life continuum if it is immediately next to life continuum. Okay, which means death consciousness will arise after life continuum. So here we can understand three different things. The death consciousness can arise after embodiment, after registration consciousness, after life continuum. That's when they are called prosmic cause. So all these are functioned by resetting consciousness. Now here, one more function of resetting consciousness is the dharamana, registering consciousness in the mental process. The characteristics is cognizance of the 6 kinds of objects. So you have already known 6 kinds of objects, right? For example, eyes, we can see the shape, the color. Similarly, ear, we can hear, nose, smell, tongue, taste, body, touch, or tangible objects. The mind, we have mind objects, thinking. We think about something. So it will take any of 6 kinds of objects. It will know any of 6 objects. The function is that of registration. It will register of the objects. The manifestation is as the states of registration corresponding to that last mentioned function. The prosmic cause is the disappearance of embodiment consciousnesses. Actually, there are many things about mental process. After learning mental process, if we approach the dharamana or all these things, it will be easier. But now it will be very difficult for you to remember all these things. Okay, so here I didn't mention anything about functional consciousness. That means I didn't mention the characteristics of functional consciousness. So, the function, the manifestation, the prosmic cause of functional consciousness, right? Because it's not for ordinary people, it's just for arhats. That's why I didn't mention here. Because this is just for central sphere consciousness. That means in our daily life, whenever we are doing good and bad, now we have already learned 12 unwholesome consciousnesses, 18 unrooted consciousnesses, 24 central sphere beautiful consciousnesses, altogether 54 we call central sphere consciousness. So these are the consciousness we have every day. Every day we may see something, then all these consciousness will arise. Hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, or thinking, all the things will be these consciousnesses. Oh, we already mentioned, for example, like a smiling bruises consciousness will be for arhats. Another one is 8 functional consciousness. We have mentioned, right? These are also only for arhats. When an arhat is doing good things, it will be the same. Of course, arhat may not have unwholesome consciousnesses, right? They don't have lobha, pre-rooted. They don't have dosa, then no greed, no hatred rooted. They don't have delusion, no delusion rooted. They may have only functional consciousnesses. So these are our daily life. Then moreover, for meditator, we also have another types of categories, higher consciousness. Only meditator can experience, only advanced meditator can experience all these types of consciousness. We call the 5 fine material sphere wholesome consciousnesses. So they mentioned the 5 fine material sphere consciousnesses. Actually, you have already know the jhana. We have different analyses. Okay, now the first jhana, wholesome consciousness, together with initial application, sustained application, joy, happiness, one-pointedness. We can say 5 jhana factors. Actually, we have already learned all these things in the samatha. Then 2, the second jhana, wholesome consciousness, together with sustained application, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. We have 4 jhana fetters. Then the third jhana, wholesome consciousnesses, together with joy, happiness, one-pointedness, with 3 jhana fetters. So when we study suttas, we may have 4 jhanas, not 5 jhanas. Here we have 5 jhanas, right? When we say 4 jhana, according to sutta, the third one becomes 2. That means only, right? For example, like the wholesome consciousness, the right together with joy, happiness, one-pointedness are second jhana. Okay, but now we just use 5-4 methods. That's why we have 5 jhanas. That means removing 1 jhana fetters each time. Okay, now the 4th jhana, wholesome consciousness together with happiness and one-pointedness. Then the 5th jhana, wholesome consciousness together with equanimity and one-pointedness. So these are called 5 jhanas, wholesome consciousness. If ordinary people practice samatha, when they attain jhana, then 5 jhana will associate with 5 jhana fetters. According to Visuddhimagga or according to Abhidhamma, there will be, right? We also have like a second jhana associated with 4 jhana fetters. The third jhana associated with 3 jhana fetters. The 4th and the 5th jhana associated with 2 jhana fetters. So, for example, we may attain jhana. When we pass away, by entering jhana, we can be reborn in the Brahma worlds. At the time, the reviling consciousness will be residing consciousness. That's why we have 5 types of residing consciousness. The same jhana fetters, the same analysis. For the arhats, we also have 5 functional consciousnesses. So these are for special people, those who can attain jhana. If we cannot attain jhana, we cannot have this kind of consciousness. As you have already known, when our hearts can attain jhana, it's not wholesome, it's resurgent. So ordinary people, ordinary people like Puthujjana, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Anagami, when they attain jhana, it will be wholesome. Then again, when we talk about characteristics, function, manifestation, cosmic cause of these jhanas, it will be same as wholesome. That's why here I don't mention anything about jhana, characteristics, function, manifestation, cosmic cause. Then we may have another types of jhana we call immaterial jhana. So 4 wholesome immaterial jhanas. Wholesome consciousness based on boundless space. Actually, we have already explained all these things in the samatha, especially when we talk about kasina. After kasina, by removing maybe 9 of 10 kasina, we can take this jhana. That's what we call boundless space jhana, right? Now, we always explain everything in detail in the samsara subject. Then 2, wholesome consciousness based on boundless consciousness. 3, wholesome consciousness basis on nothingness. four wholesome consciousness basis on neither perception nor non-perception. So if ordinary people, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami attain, these four are wholesome immaterial jhanas, then this is called wholesome. Then when they are reborn in the immaterial Brahma worlds, then they will be receptive consciousnesses. They will function. When arhats attain these immaterial jhanas, they will be functional jhanas, functional consciousnesses. So for about jhana, if we summarize all the jhana, we can say for material, we call material jhana. This is an immaterial jhana, right? So material jhana, 5 wholesome, 5 receptance, 5 functional, altogether 15 types of material jhana. Now for about immaterial, 4 wholesome, 4 receptance, 4 functionals, altogether 12. So 15 plus 12 plus. So 15 plus 12 equal 27. These are called jhana. We call mahakata. Only special people or those who can practice well can experience all these types of consciousnesses. That's why it's called mahakata, height consciousness, superior consciousnesses. Then we also have supramundane consciousness. As you have known, Sodapati, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arhats, right? So we also have the path consciousness of street entry, the path consciousness of non-returning, once returning, path consciousness of non-returning, and also path consciousness of arhatship. 4 path knowledges, 4 path consciousnesses. Similarly, we also have 4 fusion consciousnesses, altogether 8. These 8 are called Lokutara, log means supramundane consciousnesses, not for ordinary people. So if we summarize all the consciousnesses, I have already listed out, right? 12 unwholesome, 18 unrooted, 24 beautiful consciousnesses. After that, 27 jhana consciousnesses, now 8 supramundane consciousnesses, altogether 89 consciousness in brief. Then every single path knowledges, every single fruition knowledges can associate with jhana. So I also mentioned here Sotapatti Mega jhana. I just summarize all the things here. The first jhana, Sotapatti path consciousness, together with initial application, sustained application, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. The second jhana, Sotapatti path consciousness, together with sustained application, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. The third jhana, Sotapatti path consciousness, together with joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. The fourth jhana, Sotapatti path consciousness, together with happiness and one-pointedness. The fifth jhana, Sotapatti path consciousness, together with equanimity and one-pointedness. These are called 5 jhanas associated with Sotapatti Mega. Similarly, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhats. Also, 4 fruition knowledge. So 5 multiplied by 8, altogether 40. Supramundane consciousness. So it will be very wide to explain. Now we have just introduced consciousness aggregates. So among these consciousness aggregates, supra-mundane consciousness are not the object of vipassana. We have past knowledges, future knowledges. We cannot contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are not the object of vipassana. Also not for ordinary people. So for other consciousnesses, from unwholesome, unrooted, beautiful, also jhana consciousness, we can take that as object. We can also contemplate that as anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are the object of vipassana. So for ordinary people, we may have many different types of consciousness in our daily life, especially for normal people, maybe unwholesome or wholesome. Then we can do that as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, so these are introductions of consciousness aggregates. After consciousness aggregates, we also have feeling aggregates. So I have to introduce the feeling aggregates now. We have already mentioned, oh, sorry. So, okay, the roots, okay, one more thing. So I forgot to explain the one, roots, right? So there are 6 roots. They are lobha, greed, dosa, hatred, or anger, or worry, anything. Moha, delusion. Alobha, non-greed. Adosa, non-hatred. Amoha, non-delusion. These are called the roots. So we may have different types of roots in different consciousnesses. Only one root, delusion-rooted consciousness. Two delusion-rooted consciousness. Then we have 2 roots, lobha and moha, 8 greed-rooted consciousness. Also, dosa and moha, hatred-rooted consciousness. Only 2 hatred-rooted consciousness. So for about 3 roots, sorry, among the 2 roots also they are mentioned, jnana vibhuta. Jnana vibhuta means among the beautiful consciousnesses, knowledge is dissociated. If there's no knowledge, that means no amoha. That means it cannot associate with non-delusion. That's why only 2 rooted consciousness. 3 rooted, alobha, adosa, amoha. That means all the jnana samyutta. That means knowledge associated consciousnesses. Also mahakata means all the jhana consciousnesses. Lagodara means all the supra-mundane consciousnesses. So they are called 3 roots. So many people ask, what's really called 2 roots or 3 roots? When we are accumulating good things with generosity, freedom of mind, right? Our mind is free from greed or expectation. Also free from hatred. Contrary to that, we can say with metta. Amoha means wisdom. So that means if we do without any unnecessary expectation, such as gain or fame, then if we do it with metta, loving kindness, if we do it wisely, it will be 3-rooted wholesome. Sometimes if we don't have wisdom, it will be only 2-rooted. So for about jhana, it's definitely 3-rooted. For about past and future knowledge, it's definitely 3-rooted. Okay, so these are about roots. Another one is that we also mentioned here about the Dhammaramana, right, objects. Okay, the next one. Okay, so now feeling aggregates. When we say feeling aggregates, we may have many different types of feeling. Altogether, we have 5 different types of feeling. We have two things about physical or body, three things about mental. Physically pleasant or unpleasant. This is called sukha and dukkha. Mentally, we have pleasant or unpleasant, sometimes equanimity, equanimized feeling. Even bodily, sometimes we also feel equanimized feeling, right? Not that much pleasant, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. Okay, anyway, when we talk about sukha, mostly it comes from the body, bodily sensation, experience in the body. This is called sukha. So the characteristics is experiencing a desirable tangible territories or tangible objects. When desirable objects touch our body, it will be pleasant. Then the function is to intensify the associated mental states formation. You know already intensifying, right? So yami samyuthanam upa vyuhana. It will make it better, right? The manifestation is the bodily enjoyment. Then the primary cause is the body faculty, kayendriya. So when we say kayendriya, that means body translucency. This is called kayendriya. So if our body translucency is good, we can experience good and bad, both pleasant or unpleasant. If our sensation, some of this dry skin cannot feel, right? Some of the scar is very thick layer of the skin that we cannot feel good and bad too much. That's why there must be body translucency, very good body translucency in the body. Okay, now we have somanasa. Pleasant feeling, this is mentally. The characteristics is feeling or experiencing an object with the ida. That means experiencing good things in the mind. The function is experiencing or enjoying the desirable aspect of the objects. Then the manifestation is relation of the associated mental factors. Then the primary cause is tranquility. For unpleasant feeling, the primary cause is bodily faculty. All right? Anyway, so here we talk about somanasa, pleasant feeling. Now we may have another types again. Sukha, pleasant in jhana. This is also feeling, right? For example, in the pleasant sukha in jhana, this is also pleasant feeling actually. This is a mental, not bodily. So the characteristics is experiencing desirable objects such as anapana pratipaka nimitta, or as it has gratifying as its characteristics, because sada lakkhana. So gratification, sada. So when we can experience pratipaka nimitta, there is sukha feeling, pleasant feeling, happy feeling. This is called sukha. Then the function is to intensify the associated mental factors, the same as before, right? The manifestation is as 8, anugrahana. The primary cause is the tranquility, passaddhi. These are pleasant feeling in jhana. Then we also have another types of feeling, dukkha, unpleasant, that is actually bodily pain. Something understandable, unpleasant in our body. The characteristics is experiencing an understandable, tangible data. Understandable. Of course, it's understandable. That's why we feel suffer, right? We have to suffer for it. The function is to further the associated mental states. Then we sample dana, milapana. Then it make associated mental factor weak and active. The manifestation is bodily affliction. Of course, this is understandable, right? That's why it will be affliction. The proximate cause is the body faculty, kayindriya, as mentioned before, right? Body translucency. Then another one is dominanza, unpleasant feeling mentally. So that means when we get angry, worry, sorry, grief, lamentation, despair, at the time we call dominanza. The characteristics is experiencing an understandable object. We already know that one, right? The function is to explore in one way or another understandable aspects. The manifestation is as a mental affliction. The proximate cause is invariably the heart base. When you are worried, heart beating becomes very strong. When you are excited, heart beating very strong. Then it will cause some problem in the heart. Anyway, especially when fear arises, right? Anyway, the main thing is unpleasant feeling. Then we have to introduce the last feeling, equanimity. Actually, equanimity has many different types. Now here we should talk about equanimous feeling first, right? The characteristics is being felt as neutral. Neither pleasant nor unpleasant. It's medium mind. In our daily life, we have this kind of mind mostly. The function is neither intensifying nor further the associated mental states. The manifestation is peacefulness. So when our mind is calm, normal, then we can have 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐻. When excited, we don't have 𝐕𝐢𝐬𝐻. The proximate cause is consciousness without rupture or join. So these are called feeling. So when we talk about mental factors, in Bali we call tirasika. Many people ask, okay, phassa. Later we'll talk about phassa, context. Context means the phassa will context the object with the mind. We call context. Phassa also can enjoy wine. We use vedana, we say feeling. Man also can know wine, use feeling. Different functions, different angles. For example, phassa also can, mind also can know the object. Phassa can contact the object, but they cannot feel like feeling. Okay, if we give some simile, in ancient time, the king may have his royal chef or royal cook, right? Then he may cook some food for the cook, for the king. Then the king will ask him to taste first, in order that he may not poison him, right? He may scare poison him, so he may ask, take this one, take this one. Then the cook have to take a little bit, but cannot enjoy because just testing. The king can enjoy the foods, can enjoy the meal. Similarly, feelings like the king or enjoyment. All other mental factors are just follower, like the cook or like a chef. Okay, so this is 𝐸𝐵𝐺 is an equanimous feeling. There are many other types of 𝐸𝐵𝐺. I will introduce a little bit more about it. 𝐸𝐵𝐺 equanimity in the third jhana we call 𝐺𝑎nupekkha. The characteristic is being neutral, same as before. The function is not paying attention to even most enjoyable objects. Actually, even in the first jhana, we can have this kind of function or feeling. We call in Pali, tataramachattata, ever evenness. You can balance. For example, in the first jhana, if we have very strong rapture, we cannot enter. It might be pranapiti, very subtle, very fine rapture. Then we can enter to the jhana. So here we mentioned the function. The function is not paying attention to even the most enjoyable objects. The manifestation is not letting the associated mental factors to struggle even for the most desirable objects. Sometimes our mind is struggling for the most enjoyable objects, right? The most desirable objects. But here not struggling. It makes mind flat or equal. The proximate cause is detachment to rapture. Sometimes when we have too much attachment to the rapture, then we cannot focus very well. Gradually, our effort becomes weaker and weaker. This equanimity makes controlling faculties balance. That's why we cannot fall into bhavanga states. Then a few more. One more 𝐸𝐵𝐺, one more equanimity. Equanimity in the fourth jhana. The characteristic is experiencing the median desirable objects. So it's too much desirable objects, right? Some we have exciting, right? Here, it's been like a medium desirable object. The function is that being neutral to objects, we can say. The manifestation is unclear feeling. So that means feeling is not very clear. That means neither happiness nor unhappiness is not very clear, right? Then the proximate cause is disappearance of happiness, sukha nirodha. These are 𝐸𝐵𝐺 equanimities in the list. So there are many other types of 𝐸𝐵𝐺 equanimities. We have already mentioned all these things in the samatha practice. So now we should move to the perception aggregate. You'll be the last topics today. So the perception aggregates. Okay, here I have to introduce the meaning of perception. As we know the English word perceive. You may perceive something. That means mark it in our minds. That's why here, the characteristics of perception is marking. Like a thinking, stamp as a ghost. A desirable as undesirable. Undesirable as desirable. It was like a wrong mindfulness. So when our perception is wrong, it can mislead people. It also mislead ourselves. The perception can be both good and bad. Sometimes if we have wrong perceptions, it's very difficult to remove. The function is to make a sign as a condition for perceiving or recalling. Another function is to recognize that have been received before. So actually, we have some example there, right? So when we mark in the past, we can recall. For example, if we know, if I've seen the elephant in the past, we can recall the one, right? Okay, now the manifestation. So the manifestation is to interrupt the objects by way of the feature that had been apprehended. As blind men touch an elephant and say as they recognize it. You may know that story, right? The 6 blind men touch the elephant. The one of the blind men touch the tusk. It's like this is like a swat. Another man touch the ear. It's like a fan. A fan, right? Another one is like a touch. The tail is like a broom, like a rope, something like that, right? If somebody touch, some of them touch the legs. Oh, they're like a pillar. Then some of them touch the body is like a wall. So this is our perception. As we remember, as we mark in our minds, it will appear. The approximate cause is the objects as it appears. These are the characteristics, the function, the manifestation, the approximate cause of perception. Okay, so far we have already learned the conscious aggregates, and also we have learned feeling aggregates, we have learned perception aggregates. So later we have to continue learning formation aggregates. It will take very long time. So for our material aggregates, right? We already finished. So now we have learned 4 aggregates. We need to learn only 1 more aggregate. That is it, formation aggregates. It will take too long. So when we are going to practice Vipassana, we have to understand all the ultimate reality clearly in detail. If we just take concepts as objects, it will change a lot. If we take ultimate realities as objects, then it will be clear all the time. So that means when there's the cessation of all ultimate reality, then we can take Nibbana. So we have learned many different things. This is called Suttamaya Jnana, learning knowledge. As we have started in the very beginning of Panya, right? Panya Paveda. This is only learning knowledge. We have to practice practically. Bhavanamaya, developed. If we can practice practically, we can develop. If we try to understand with our own experience, to experience with our direct knowledge, it will be Bhavanamaya Jnana, developing knowledge or developing wisdom. It will take time to develop. All the difficult words will be not easy for practitioners before we are successfully practicing. After practicing successfully, all the difficulty will become easy. So now, trying to understand first according to the text. Later, trying to experience with the practice. We have Priyati, learning, Pratipatti, practicing. They depend on each other. If we practice without learning, then it will take a long time. If we learn without practice, our knowledge will be not that much useful. So we have to apply 2 things together, learning and then practicing. We have to do Priyati Sasana, learning Sasana. Pratipatti Sasana, practicing Sasana. If we can do these 2, there will be Pativeda Sasana, realizing or understanding. Okay? May you all be able to propagate Buddha's teaching by learning, practicing, and experiencing.
Question 1. Dear 𝐸𝐸𝐻, please advise what different written of Digigata Sampayutta, Ditti Sampayutta with example. What's the difference?
Actually, okay.
Okay, the second question is it true practice Kayanupassana to attain Sotapanna, Vedananupassana to attain Sagadagami, Chittanupassana to attain Anagami, and Dhammanupassana to attain Arahant?
This is straight, right? Okay. Actually, okay, when we ask about Ditthikata Samyutta or Ditti Samyutta, right? I have to analyze Pali word again, grammatically, okay? Ditti means wrong view, kata means arise, Samyutta means associate. It will arise associated with the Ditti, this is Ditthikata Samyutta. Ditti Samyutta means associated with the Ditti. So actually in my manual, I just make it short. When you go and study Vedamata Sangha, it will mention as a Ditthikata Samyutta. Okay? So it will be the same. Okay? The same meaning. Okay? So for about the practice you mentioned, right? Kanupassana to attain Sotapanna. Actually, I have never known this kind of things. I don't know who said to you this one, right? Actually, we have many other things about Satipatthana. Okay. Now let me check my own collection here. No. Satipatthana. Wait for okay. Actually, we have many different explanations about for Satipatthana, but I have never known this kind of things, right? Okay. Actually, I have never found this kind of teaching.
There's a note there from the questioner. It says sources are taken from reading books. Chittanupassana and Vedananupassana Mogok Sayadaw's Way by U Tang Diang.
I know. This is a very, very bad, right? We're gonna have this kind of things. When you study, Satipatthana Sutta, there can be many different, for example, Kana Charita, Ditti Charita, or Samatha Yanika, Upasana Yanika. According to this thing, we can classify into 4 groups of Satipatthana. Now, there was a Tikha and a Manda or something like that. Then there will be different types of Satipatthana. We cannot find like this, Sotapanna, Sakaya, Nagami. Okay? This one.
Question 2. Please 𝐸𝐸𝐻 advise, according to 𝐸𝐸𝐻 Mogok Mahathera, Satipatthana is divided into 3 parts. Satipatthana, mindfulness of awareness. Second, Satipatthana Bhavana, contemplations of arising and perishing of 5 aggregates. C. Satipatthana Gamini Padipada, contemplation of the path leading to the cessation of sankhara, of arising and vanishing. How to understand it? Question 4. What is bodhicitta and what kind of cittas according to Abhidhamma teaching?
Bodhicitta. Actually, maybe around year 2005, 2004, many controversy about that 𝐸𝐸𝐻's booklets, that 𝐸𝐸𝐻's teaching. Especially, it mentioned more, I don't know how many mistakes, maybe about 300 mistakes maybe. Right? One of the Myanmar scholar point out. Satipatthana, actually, when you go and read Satipatthana, you cannot find all these things. This is his own creation. You're going to find that kind of things. For example, like Sati and Patthana. Okay, we have this kind of explanation. Satipatthana Bhavana, Satipatthana Gamini Padipada. We're going to say like that. Right? So bodhicitta. Actually, okay, if we say bodhi is enlightenment, if we say enlightenment, it can be one of the right path and fruition knowledge. This is about enlightenment, right? Okay, another one.
Question 3. Could an arahant cry or shed tears?
Okay. Then you have to see something from China, maybe, right? Then you ask this question. Actually, not only even Anagami may not cry, no shedding tear. Okay, but one thing, shedding tear, it depends on them. For example, some because of chili, because of onion, right? This is another thing, right? Shed tear means because of sorrow, lamented, worry. No, okay. No mind produce tear. It will be temperature produce tear. Okay.
Dear 𝐸𝐤𝐸, before a dead consciousness arises, if a person is in coma or brain dead condition, what may be the near-death moment consciousness for this person? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, it depends on his lifestyles, right? We have many different types of near-death moment objects. For example, like habitual karma, for example, right? It depends on his habitual life. Mostly, possibility, mostly. Okay. Next one.
Question 3. Dear 𝐸𝐤𝐸, what is the Pali term for equanimity in the 4th jhana?
Okay. We call in Bali Janupekha. For about 4th jhana, we call Parisudupekha. Okay, in the 4th jhana, Parisudupekha. Okay, in that jhana, Janupekha. Okay, then next one.
Question 4. Dear 𝐸𝐤𝐸, how do we get very good body translucency? Is it due to karma or they can be gained through good food or healthy body?
Okay, so somewhat we can say like a past karma will build this body, right? It depends on how we take care of our body in this very life, right? It depends. So, okay, we can say it produces by past karma. We have good body translucency. If we don't take care, then it will be the problem, right? So we can understand both past karma and the present action. Okay.
This is for the interpretation, Bante.
Yes. Vanami said, this question, there's one bhikkhu, he accept the chú xứ là thí chủ cho các thí chủ. They accept them like a monastery and the land offered by the group of devotees. And after that, after that, he accept another place which is offered by another group of donor, and he relinquished the place previously offered by the previous donor. I think this question about Vinaya said, and xả các thí chủ trước đây và có tuyên bố tùy các thí chủ xử lý. And he give it back to the previous donor, the place which is he already accept previously. And các thí chủ đó họp lại, and all the group donor, they had the meeting and also decide and let the main donor to decide about the place. Sau đó vị tỳ kheo này lấy lại chú xứ và giao lại cho một người xa lạ khác chưa đồng ý của sự đồng ý của thí chủ. Thực ra câu hỏi này hơi sự không hiểu ý câu hỏi như thế nào. Các thí chủ, sorry Sayadaw, I don't quite understand this question, Sayadaw. So we move to the next one, Sayadaw. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This is also for interpretation, Bante.
Dear 𝐸𝐤𝐸, in 𝐸𝐤𝐸's Sambayutana Milabana means weakening. So his question is the meaning of weakening means associated dharma would not arise. Is that the meaning? In
No.
a kalapa, there are color. This is the second question. In the kalapa, there is this color, the vana, as the rupa. So this color, would that be different from the color that we see normally with our eye?
Okay. So one more thing, right? When we talk about milapana, that means not very active. But all elements that will arise, but not so strong. That's called milapana, right? What about kala? Also, not the question is not very quite clear. In the kalapa, there's a kala, right? That means?
Yes, in the kalapa, there is color as one of the rupa. So this color and the color we see actually with our eye, would they be the same?
Okay. So it depends on the wisdom. Okay? That means it depends on the body parts. They have a different color, right? Sometimes that they cannot differentiate color, they can see only the white. It doesn't matter. Whatever color they see is okay. Sometimes it can be the color you see with naked eye. Sometimes it can be different, right? It depends on your mind power or your concentration. Okay, this one.
Yes, Yado. Bante, the anagami is non-returner. Arahant also is it not non-returner? What is the difference?
Okay. Anagami non-returner means they don't come back to human realms. This is called non-returner. Okay? Here, no-returner means they don't come back to human realms. They don't come back to sensual realms. This is called no-returner. For other hats, it may not come back to any existences. Right? This is the difference between Anagami and Arahats. For Anagami, they can be reborn in the Brahma worlds. They will not come back to human realms. For Arahats, they will not come back to any existences, any life. Okay? Idawadacha amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe jiva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe satta numodandu sabba sampati siriya idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hondu nyatayo idam me nyatinam hotu Sukhita hondu nyadayo, idam me nyatinam hotu. Sukhita hondu nyadayo, idam me bunyam asavakaya vaham hotu. Idam me bunyam nibbanasa patriyo hotu. Mama bunya bhagam sabhasadanam bhajemi te sabbe me samam. Punya bhagam lavandu sadhu sadhu sadhu.